So we've got 4 games left of the season to play with Reading, and we are in 6th place, not quite secured in the playoffs because Leicester are right behind us, just 1 point behind us. Today, we're potentially going to be playing 4 matches, starting off with current league leaders, Leeds United. That's right, Everton have dropped off the top. They've been at the top of the table for so long, and that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. You should half their points, and they'd be mid-table. In between episodes, you can see that I've highlighted the matches that we have played, and we have actually won 6 and lost 5. We've done all right, I guess, is the best way of putting it, but we have lost some games where arguably we should have been able to win them. Burnley a defeat, Cardiff a defeat, a 4-3 defeat against Middlesbrough. That one kind of really, I say kind of, it did annoy me, didn't it? Let's be honest. A 4-0 defeat against Stoke, and then a 1-0 defeat against Plymouth. That one as well, if you have a look, Plymouth are down in 22nd place in the table. How have we lost that game? I don't quite know. Today, we've got Leeds, we've got QPR, we've got Bristol Rovers, and we've got Swansea to play. So, we've got Leeds, and then we've got relegation fodder, basically. We should win at least 3 of the 4 matches. We're going to kick off against Leeds. So the starting lineup then for the Leeds game will be Boyce Clark in goal, Abrefa, Mepham, House and Guinness Walker in defence. Abrefa comes in because Ferguson not fully match fit. He's there, but he's kind of played a little bit too much, basically, lately. It's going to be Offenborough and Kozlovs in the centre of midfield. Banks and Goddo on the wings. Pepper and Fletcher leading the lines. We are missing the key man, Edwards, who is currently out injured. We are missing Mika Hamilton as well. Edwards, by the way, he's not going to play any more games for us. He's out for 3 to 5 months with a broken lower leg. So, yeah, we've kind of... It's annoying because Ballard really should still be here, so we have to play Fletcher and Pepper. We've got Goddo, who basically he was not registered to play for us. He only got registered at the end of January. He's come off the bench once and scored twice. That was a thing that happened. And then Kozlovs is actually in the starting 11, kind of on merit, because he's getting actually pretty good now. Now, obviously, this might be the last episode of Season 3 with Reading, because if we don't finish in the playoffs, obviously, there's nothing else to do this season. If we do finish in the playoffs, there will be another episode, which will be the entirety of the playoffs, which is hopefully 3 matches. Dorrington heads over the bar for Leeds after just 7 minutes. I think we're probably going to lose this game. Looking at the Leeds team, they're not particularly amazing. They're good. Obviously, they're very good, but they're not Everton levels of good. Everton's team is a Premier League team. Leeds' team is just a very good kind of championship side. Where, I mean, the Everton team is ridiculous. How they're not winning the league at the moment is just mad. On the right-hand side for Leeds, it is Aronson in the middle, plays it across Gibbs with acres of space. Mark Rucker spins, goes for goal over the bar of Boyce Clark, still 0-0. Leeds so far having the lion's share of the possession and obviously all the highlights. I say lion's share of the possession, it's just jumped up to 56 to 44 in our favour. It's a corner for Leeds on the left. Jan Kuoto steps up to take it. The Man City man, or former Man City man. Dorrington's there, this time heads over the bar once again. Leeds are getting close, but they're not really troubling Boyce Clark in goal. Looks like Offenborough has taken a bit of a knock. It's a pulled groin, so I think you might be coming off at half-time, although you are our best player by a fair distance at the moment. It is 44 minutes and 15 seconds. Matt Target to Aronson, crosses it in towards Gibbs. Wilfred Nonto is well offside, and it's a free kick. Good, I was going to say it was saved. It didn't matter because he was offside. And at half-time it is 0-0. I will take a 0-0 draw against Leeds. I will certainly take this as a result. Right, Offenborough is going to have to come off. We've got no central midfielders because of injuries. We've got, none of them at all. Do we do? I mean, Onyedinma probably can't play in the middle, can he? Can Goddo play in the middle? I feel like he can't, but we might give it a go anyway. We're going to do that. We're going to do Onyedinma coming on the left-hand side. Swap you two round. I feel like Goddo's going to make more sense as the DLP. This is definitely what you want to be doing, by the way, when you're playing against top-of-the-table Leeds United. Play a winger who's only played 1 time for you as a central midfielder and see how well he does. First highlight of the second half, and it is, of course, Leeds with the ball. Matt Target in the middle to strike Gibbs to Aronson. Acres of space for Aronson. Just keeps walking as well. Goes for goal. Boyce Clark just about saves that. Straight at him. Wasn't quite sure he was actually going to save it, but he managed to do so. It's a corner for Leeds. Jan Kuoto goes over. It's going to go short because there's a man right in front of him. It is Wisser. Poor pass. Onyedinma can get the ball upfield, but nothing really comes of it at all. And Leeds once again coming forward. Not quite at the hour mark. Gibbs to this man's name. Not even going to try and pronounce it. Keeps going off towards the left. His effort is not very good. As long as Leeds keep having shots like that, this is fine. I'm kind of okay with it. Right, 65 minutes. We're going to do a couple of changes, and it is going to be up front. Kelvin is going to come on for Pepra. Do we do Banks off as well? I think we do for Basil on the right-hand side. I'm looking at Fletcher. Fletcher for Taylor Hart. I mean, Kiddo can play there. He's got 8 finishing. We're going to go for it. I think we are getting the ball kind of in decent areas, but our strikers and wingers just aren't doing the job. And that's why they're playing pretty badly. So maybe a change up front might change our fortunes. It might also mean absolutely nothing. Amdouni gets a bit of space for himself. Boyce Clark with another very good save. He's on a 7.4. That's probably going to bump him up to a 7.6. Corner for Kyoto to take on the left-hand side. 15 minutes of normal time to play. Header clear. Goddo cannot get there, but Boyce Clark can. He's playing well. He's genuinely playing very well. Obviously, we sold Cavallina in January, and I thought it might have been a mistake, and it probably was, but Boyce Clark is certainly stepping up. Final change of the match. Tom Holmes is coming on for Kozlovs, because Kozlovs is playing badly, he's tired, and he's booked. So we've got 2 non-central midfielders playing in central midfield against the league leaders at the moment with about 7 minutes to play. Boyce Clark is on a 7.7. We've hit the 90. There's 5 minutes of injury time. We've done absolutely nothing apparently in the second half when you look at the match momentum graph, but the full-time whistle's going to go, and that is a very, very good singular point in a 0-0 draw. Boyce Clark gets an 8.2. I don't think I've seen a goalkeeper get an 8.2 before. So our result did move us up to 5th place, but then on the Saturday everybody else played, and it looks like both Burnley and Leicester. So Burnley winning 2-1 against Swansea. Leicester, where are Leicester? I can't see them. They beat Millwall 1-0, which means we do drop out of the playoffs for the first time in, I think, quite a while, to be honest. We've been, is that 6th? Yeah, so we've not been out of the playoffs since match week, 17, 16? So, I mean, that's kind of annoying, especially when you think of how badly we started our season as well. The fact that we've just dropped out with 3 games to play. We're going to go forward now. I'm going to not play the Bristol Rovers one on camera because they are 24th. We will play QPR though. I probably should have played the Bristol Rovers game on camera because it was a 5-3 victory. Scott Banks with a hat-trick, Ashton Muir with a goal, and also Romance Kozlov scoring his first goal for the club as well. The problem is, everyone else around us also managed to win their games, which means we are still sat in 7th place as we go forward to play QPR in a few days' time. And then we finish off the season with a match against Swansea, who are safe from relegation. They've got nothing to play for. QPR might be a bit of a struggle. Right then, for the QPR game, this is the starting lineup that we're going to go for. It's going to be Boyce Clark, obviously, in goal. Ferguson, Metham, House and Guinness Walker, Offerborough and Kozlovs in midfield. Banks and Muir on the wings. George and Fletcher leading the lines. Who's George, you might ask? It's Verrill George. He is a real man, and this is going to be his debut. He has scored 13 goals in non-competitive games so far this season, and we're going to give him a chance. We don't have any strikers, basically. We've got Kelvin, we've got Pepper. Pepper's not very good. Kelvin's not very good anymore either. And then we've got Edwards, who's out injured. We've got Basil Tumer, who's also now picked up an injury as well. So George is going to get a chance up front. We do have Miko Hamilton back from his injury, but he's definitely not going to be playing. I might bring him on if we need something to happen or we need a central midfielder. Maybe we need to sort our subs out so we don't have to bring on Hamilton. Let's put Turnbull on the bench. It's a weird thing to do, isn't it? We'll do it for Achemapong, because Achemapong's never coming off the bench either. I've come to the realisation, just before we kick off this match, that we can win our final 2 games of the season and still finish 7th place in the table, because obviously if the 2 teams above us, who are the 2 teams that we can catch, win their games, doesn't matter what we do, does it? Guinness Walker has the ball on the left-hand side, and also, thinking about it, if we lose against QPR, we might not be finishing any higher than 7th. That might be it for the season if we lose this match. Banks has the ball, plays it off to the right, finds Ferguson. Is he going to get that cross into the middle? We've got George in the middle. It's towards Fletcher at the back post. And Luca Fletcher gets his 6th goal of the season. Lovely chicken dance as well to celebrate. I think that might be his first goal on camera, isn't it? He's not been very good for us, but he's got 6 now. I do miss Don Ballard. I really do miss Don Ballard. I'm annoyed that he got recalled. It completely out against my control as well. He just got recalled by Saints and they don't play him. And I'm annoyed because we would have played him every single game. Muir finds Kozlovs, goes off towards the right-hand side. Banks collects it on the ground to Fletcher. Can he double our lead and double his tally? He does so into the bottom corner. 7 minutes played, 2-0 up against QPR. What is going on? We are up into 5th place in the table at the moment if everything stays this way. But Leicester, I need to find out who Leicester are playing and who the other team, I've already forgotten who they are. Is it Sheffield United? It's not Sheffield United. Hedges has it for QPR, finds Elias Chair, back to Fox. I was going to say Danny Fox. Danny Fox must be about 45 at the moment. Banks loses out to Parle. I think this is actually the second time we've played QPR on camera this season. Clark Salter finds Fisher. Now Cannon back to Clark Salter again. I think Clark Salter's a good signing for QPR, isn't it? Fox has it, back to the defender. Are we going to nick this? I feel like we're going to steal this, and there's a counter-attack coming along. Vukovic on the ground, finds Prodos to Hedges, ball forward, finds Elias Chair. He's about 5'4", I think. Cross comes in, good bit of defending. Verrill George flicks his head somewhere, doesn't really matter where, does it? Towards Fisher, apparently. Hedges, Fisher, nick it. Somebody, anybody, nick it. Prodos goes for goal into the bottom corner. It's 2-1. The commentary was desperately trying to find out who they should blame for that goal, and they said it was Ashton Muir who lost the ball at the start of the highlight. It definitely wasn't his fault. Free kick for Chair, finds Powell, he's gone for goal, and Boyce Clark has gone from being superb in the last match to being utterly awful in this one. It's 2-2. It is 2-2. Leicester are beating Swansea. Sheffield United, is it Sheffield United? It is Sheffield United, the other team that we need to kind of pay attention to. They are losing against Everton. Okay, so that's one good thing. They're playing Everton, so that's an automatic defeat going on there. But we still need to make sure we can beat QPR. It is Mepham, right-hand side is Ferguson, playing very well so far on a 7.2 rating. We've also got George, was on a 7 rating earlier. Banks finds Fletcher, can he get a first half hat-trick? He's hit the base of the post. The flag goes up anyway. Everton have doubled their lead against Sheffield United as well now as we go into the half-time break, 2-2. And have we been the better side? Yes, we just haven't done well in front of goal. We haven't done well in goal, have we? I'm not happy with your performance out there. Ashton Muir's coming off. We're going to do Onyedinma coming on. And we're going to start the second half. One change, which I'm not sure is a good idea, but Ashton Muir was on like a 6.3. Clark Salter has the ball back to Fabiano in the QPR goal. Big kick upfield. Ferguson to Banks. We've seen nothing of George. That's a red card. That's a red card for Fox. What's his name? It just says Fox. He's gone anyway. Straight into another highlight though, straight after the red card. We need to get this ball. Mepham forward, finds Banks. I want to see a Verrill George goal. That's what I want to see. Prodos, one of the goal scorers, goes off to the right-hand side. Loads of space on the ground, finds Cannon. Back to Hedges, in the middle is Chair, and we're 3-2 down. This is not ideal. This is really not ideal. What is going on? I knew QPR would be tough because obviously they're in a relegation scrap. They need to win games in order to not get relegated. But the fact that we are clearly the better side, we've got one more player than them now as well, and we're just not really doing anything at all. Onyedinma on the left-hand side for us. Cuts in towards the middle, goes for a lovely little run. Guinness Walker crosses in. Verrill George is there at the back post, doesn't bother jumping. Banks controls it just about, gets some space for himself. It's fallen for George, and Verrill George on his debut makes it 3-3. He's celebrating, although, guys, get the ball back on the centre circle because we do need to win. I'm just happy Verrill scored, to be honest. I mean, grand scheme of things, we do need to win, but Verrill George scoring, I'm happy with that. Courtney House doesn't win the headed effort, and now Elias Chair. It's 1-on-2. I mean, he needs some support, really. We should be able to easily snuff this attack out. Chair goes off to the right-hand side. Gets it past his man, finds Hedges, Kozlov's back there, and we've tripped each other up. Cannon goes for goal, and oh my word, Boyce Clark, what are you doing? Boyce Clark is easily to blame for 3 of those goals. What is he doing? He's on a 6.3. Everyone else outfield, bar Courtney House and Onyedinma, is playing alright, and then Boyce Clark has decided he wants to be the worst footballer in the world all of a sudden. Chair with a free kick. Is it going to be 5-3? It better not be 5-3. Onyedinma, keep that in play, mate. Keep that in play. Good job. Counter-attack time. We've still got 22 minutes to play, so we've got plenty of time to get ourselves an equaliser and then a winner. Onyedinma loses out, keeps hold of it actually, crosses it in, finds Fletcher, cross it. No! Guinness Walker across to Ferguson, plays it back to Mepham. Ferguson wants it back and gets it back as well. We've got so many players in the box. Ferguson tries to get some space for himself, back to Scotty Banks. Arthur with some space, goes for a long-range effort. What are you doing, buddy? We're going to lose this game. We are genuinely going to lose this game. 15 minutes left to play. I need to really think about doing some subs. Guinness Walker to Kozlov's. Arthur in the middle, plays it forward to nobody. In the middle between our 2 players, between Ferguson and, I assume, Banks. And now QPR can come forward. Arthur nicks it though. Good. Verrill George to Fletcher. What have you done? It was easier to score. You're offside anyway. We're playing so well. We're playing really well. We're just not getting the goal right. We're going to have to do that, aren't we? Turnbull's coming on. I don't want to bring on Hamilton. Turnbull's going to come on as the DLP. I don't want to do that, really, but I feel like I might have to, because if they had another chance, they're probably going to score it. Onyedinma's coming off, actually. That's the thing we're going to do. I know he came on at half-time, but he is playing awful. He's on a 6.5. So Kilo Taylor-Hart is going to come on for the final 10 minutes. It's not going to happen, is it? It is not going to happen. If it stays this way, we are still within a chance. We are still within a chance. We've got 6 minutes of injury time. A draw is not good, but I guess it's better than losing. Turnbull finds Taylor Hart, goes off towards the right-hand side. Everyone had to hold up their runs. Banks is in on goal. Fabiano makes a save, but I think he was offside. He was. We've lost. We are going to lose. Sheffield United are still... We can still catch Sheffield United. We can still do it. I mean, the fact... How have we lost that game? I mean, Boyce Clark is how, isn't it? Boyce Clark is 100% how we lost that game. Thrash arms. I'm far from pleased. And then you, buddy, you cost us. Throw it, catch it, mate. Good. Appeared unsure and disheartened. Do we play Mateus Liss for the final game of the season? I think we might have to. So there's only one spot left for that final playoff position. Sheffield United and Reading, and technically Stoke can get it. Stoke do need... I guess Stoke could get it quite easily, actually. If they win and both Sheffield United and Reading lose, then Stoke will be moving up into 6th place. So, Sheffield United are playing Millwall away from home. We are playing Swansea away from home. And Stoke are playing... Where are Stoke? Stoke are playing West Brom away from home. So everyone's away from home. Good. I'm concerned. I feel like we're finishing 8th, you know. I genuinely feel like we're finishing 8th. What's even more annoying, that result from QPR still relegated them anyway. I can't believe we're doing it, but we are. Mateus Liss is going to be our goalkeeper for the final game of the season, where we have to win, really. Ferguson, Mepham, House and Guinness Walker in defence. Offerborough and Hamilton in midfield, so Hamilton does return to the starting 11. Banks and Goddo on the wings, and George and Fletcher leading the lines, because obviously George scored a goal, so we're going to give him another chance. Very important question. If we manage to win this game with a clean sheet and get into the playoffs, do we stick with Mateus Liss? Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? Do we go back to Boyce Clark? Much like the end of every season, I'm going to spend most of this match just looking at that league table and the latest scores to see what is going on. Sunderland are beating Everton. What's happened there? Sunderland are, down in 14th, Everton top of the table currently. We, right now, 7th place. It would be lovely if some highlights happen. There's been 2 shots, apparently, in 25 minutes. So far, it's been a thrilling game to end the season. It is 0-0, but there is a chance. Goddo to Verrill George with a bit of space, tries to curl it into the bottom corner, hits the post. Mepham's going to keep it alive. Goddo, is he going to go for goal himself? It's managed to hit, I think it was cleared by Panzo instead. I thought it just hit Panzo. Cross comes in from Swansea. All action all of a sudden. Nothing's happened for half an hour, and then we get 2 highlights within seconds of each other. Mateus Liss making his first ever English football match, I believe, even though he's played for Saints for about 5 years. Guinness Walker down the left-hand side. Goddo back to Mika Hamilton. This might be the last game Hamilton plays for us, especially if we don't go into the playoffs. Offerborough on the right needs to play it to Ferguson and does so. Ferguson goes down the line, finds Banks, who's picked up an injury, not what we want to be seeing, finds George, and Verrill George has got 2 and 2. Right, does that mean that we move up into the playoffs right now as things stand? I think it probably does. I don't think it does. I think we're still in 7th place. This is not good. Fulton with the ball for Swansea. Mepham's with him. Plays it back to Panzo. Back to Panzo again from Timon or Timon, I'm not quite sure. McCann with acres of space. Goes for goal. Liss doesn't need to do anything with that one. So, yes, it looks like we are still in 7th place. Sheffield United are beating Millwall. That's not what we want. We need Sheffield United to lose or draw. That's a definite thing we need to happen. Half-time has been and gone. No changes for us at the moment. I'm just keeping an eye on it now. That's all we're looking at, down in the bottom right-hand corner. And I hate the fact that he keeps jumping to the top when something happens. Right, I think we're going to have to do Scott Banks coming off on the hour mark because that injury, I think, is starting to be a bit of a problem. Ashton Muir's going to come on the right-hand side. Luca Fletcher off for Kelvin. Sure, we'll go for that. 2 Reading youngsters. Courtney House as well can come off for Tom Holmes. Why not? So I brought off basically 1 injured and 2 poor performers. Still got 30 minutes to play and we still need Millwall to actually score some goals. That QPR match has potentially just ruined our entire season, hasn't it? That QPR match has ruined our entire season. Offerborough's ball down the line for himself, and I thought he was even potentially going to get on the end of it. He doesn't manage it. Timon has it on the halfway line. Goes all the way back to the keeper, who is miles out of his goal. So if we can steal this, we might be able to score a long-range effort. McCann, right-hand side is key with acres of space. Loses out, though. Poor first touch. It's back with Mateus Liss. On a clean sheet so far, 70 minutes. So what we like to see. Ferguson on the right-hand side. I imagine Boyce Clark would have kept a clean sheet in this situation because Swansea have had about 4 shots and they've all been pretty poor. Mika Hamilton, right-hand side is Ferguson. Acres of space for the former Palace man. Down the line towards Ashton Muir, can't quite get to him, and Jay Fulton, McCann combining to get Swansea a bit of a break. Yates is in on goal, has to go out wide. Liss almost gets a hand to it, but Jerry Yates makes it 1-1. I think that's it, isn't it? I think that's it. It's over. Even though Sheffield United are still winning their game right now, we need them to lose fairly comfortably if we want to go ahead of them, because a draw is not enough for us, because their goal difference there is like plus 15 ahead of us. Liss's effort is saved. Liss's save isn't very good, is what I was trying to say there. It is a corner for Key to take it. Right-hand side. Cross it in the middle as Panzo doesn't quite get on the end of it, and now Muir. Counter-attack time. This is what we want to be seeing. Down the right-hand side. Keep going, buddy. Just keep going. Keep going. He's been kicked. He's been kicked. Surely that's a yellow card. I've just seen Swansea playing a guy called Nduka Jr., who, if you watched my, I think, Esbjerg save in FM23, I signed him there. That was kind of a blast from the past. We've got 10 minutes left to play. I've done no subs. I'm a terrible manager. Right, 2 changes then. Kozlov's and Onyedinma coming on. Offenborough and Godot are the ones to be making way. That is it. That's all we can do. A 1-1 draw. We've kind of ended this season so badly, and I feel like this might be the winning goal for Swansea. And Dukas at the back post doesn't get there. Muir heads vertically. Cullen with a bicycle kick from well outside the area. Optimistic, mate. Well, that is looking like it's going to be it. We've been poor in the second half. Looking at that match momentum graph, we've been very poor. A 1-1 draw is not enough, even if... I mean, we were rubbish anyway. We just had one very good chance, which we didn't score from, apparently, and then a chance that we did score from. But that means that we are finishing... I mean, we're finishing 7th, aren't we? And this Stoke won. Stoke didn't win. Okay, we're definitely finishing 7th place then. Stoke drew 1-1 against West Brom. So, I mean, it's not awful. Realistically, it's not awful. But the fact that we've thrown this away in the last 2 games of the season kind of is annoying, isn't it? So that is the final league table then. Everton win the league in the final day on 110 points, Leeds in second on 109. Just to put that into context, Hull were third on 83. I mean, last season Norwich won on 101. The first season, Hull would have almost won the league. And then this season, they were 30 points off the pace. 30 points. That's ridiculous. In case you're wondering as well, Everton lost 4 games, which is Sunderland, Leeds, Hull and Bolton. Leeds lost 5 games, which is Bristol City, Burnley, Bolton, Middlesbrough and Everton. Bolton did pretty well, didn't they? That is going to do it then for this episode and this season with Reading. It's frustrating that we didn't get into the playoffs. And I think over the summer, if we are going to do a season 4, we are going to have to do a lot of reshaping, which will involve selling probably our star players in the shape of Miko Hamilton, probably selling a couple of defenders as well. We might come back in season 4, if we do season 4 that is, and not be anywhere near as good. It might be a mid-table season if we do season 4. We were expected to finish 15th this year, so arguably we did much better than expected. But that's going to do it. Thank you very much for watching. Do remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new as well, and I'll be back with more Football Manager and maybe season 4 with Reading.